Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Ekta Sehgal Malhotra. Welcome to the Motherhood Club Talk Series. You are live in conversation with me, along with Dr. Amrinder Kaur. Dr. Amrinder Kaur is a consultant, researcher, and an academician. She has two grown-up boys, and what more should I talk about her? She is someone who has a keen interest towards detailing. She will not speak anything until she has researched it thoroughly. And of course, that is the reason that she is not just Amrinder Kaur, but Dr. Amrinder Kaur. A very interesting topic chosen by her, and which is, got me also thinking, and I'm very intrigued to hear her today because, she's going to talk about conscious parenting, my journey towards self awareness. Now, before I go any further about this, I welcome Dr. Amrinder. And Amrinder, please introduce yourself in your own words and take us through, this beautiful topic that you have chosen, conscious parenting, and how, it has helped you to know more about yourself. So over to you, Amrinder.
Thank you, Ekta, for having me here. It's definitely a pleasure to be with you. And before introducing myself, I like to congratulate you for the wonderful work you are doing through this Motherhood Club and the series of talking with the mothers, particularly wherein they are sharing their experiences. I had a couple of chances where I heard talks and conversations with which you were having with a lot of mothers, and there had been so much to learn, reflect, and definitely share the notes. And thank
Thank
you
you
for
so much.
having me. And now I'm Dr. Amrinder Kaur. Professionally, I'm a consultant, I'm an academician, I'm a researcher, mentor, so the list goes on, an entrepreneur also. And I primarily practice in customer experience management for business success. And personally, I think I have a beautiful family. I have two young, energetic boys. The elder one is 13 years old. The younger one will just get 9 next month. And definitely, I am living with my in-laws, my parent in-laws. Have one husband, and and have a wonderful even the parental family also. So my parents reside in Punjab, and definitely all has been a lot of influence, in the way I been parenting. I don't say I'm parenting my kids. I always say I'm learning with them, and I'm learning, and each day I'm feeling more gratitude towards my parents because the way they have brought up the three of us. I have a sister and a brother. It has definitely influenced and helped me realize my strengths as a person. So
Wow.
conscious parenting. Why I chose conscious parenting? Because definitely I'm a spiritual person also by nature, and I'm a practicing Sikh. But yes, I'm influenced with the talks of Sadhguru. I definitely enjoy Krishna's ideologies. So I've been reading Gita and all that. So with that, and definitely my own upbringing also. So I am from defense background. So all that has made me realize that there's definitely not a perfect method for parenting, particularly, but it's your own journey when you realize, you cannot fix anybody, but you need to first fix yourself. So I think that's why
Beautiful.
when you told me that to speak something, I didn't know what to, because it's definitely only my journey. My kids are having their own journey. They are learning, they are realizing, and they have their own ways. And I'm actually learning how to support them so that they are able to realize their own stuff. They are able to realize that it's okay and it's important. Now if we fail, it's okay. The more important is that we should keep on trying, and all that is not for them, it is for me. So I'm learning how to be the right role model to them, the way my parents were, because since we are from defense background, so my parents, I think, had been the perfect role model, and I'm still learning from them the way they handle themselves. So we had a very disciplined way, and it's not that my parents had put on me, but they have their this way of being, wherein getting up on time, having meals on time, saying our prayers, and then being a Sikh, we are very much into service, going to gurdwaras and doing seva. So all this has been ingrained, and definitely never be scared of hard work. So that's actually, I'm actually telling my kids as well that hard work is something you should always be proud of, and that is something which makes you fearless, because you can always work hard, so you can always rebound. And that this thing I learned once I had my kids. I learned that this is something which my parents taught me, and I'm trying to pass on to my kids. So I think it's a wonderful journey, and the more we talk about conscious parenting, I think conscious parenting as such is a concept which is definitely not with respect to parenting only, but it fits in every era of our life, be it professional, be it personal. And the more we get into it, the more we try to practice it, I think the more self-aware we become. So that's all, and definitely I look forward that maybe everyone who's listening have some beautiful takeaways from it.
Of course. Amrita, you made a very powerful statement that, when you are trying to nurture or grow your children, it is not just about their learning. It is
Yeah,
about our learning. And I think before that, if I may add, it is also about a lot of unlearning that we as parents need to do.
absolutely.
And, well, of course, you also did mention that failure
Yeah.
is something that needs to be introduced, and that's what you do. So why don't you share some instances where conscious parenting was very effectively used,
Uh-huh.
and if you could elaborate a little more on conscious parenting,
Sure.
for all of us to understand that, why did you choose that methodology? Because as a parent, I think we all swing from one form of parenting to the other very easily. But the
Yeah.
more I meet you, the more I interact with you, I always find you a very calm person. So I cannot even imagine you to be a helicopter mom or a very strict mother. So throw some light on that. That how do you manage to keep yourself so calm and composed, especially
That's
sorry to
something. So my kids will not agree to it because we are always fighting. But
yes,
yes,
and sorry to be sounding a little biased towards the gender, but the always one always feels that when you have two boys at home, the mother is always at the tender hooks, because the boys are up to some or the other mischief, though even these as girls are. But why don't you share some insight on that? I'm sure that is going to be really helpful for all of us.
yeah, I'll definitely love to. And I do not believe that, it's definitely with respect to any gender. Now, I think as parents also, we are letting, even I was taken up like that, wherein you don't have some biases for girls or boys. Rather, in my family, from my parents' sides, we are two sisters and one brother. And my brother always had complaints. My mother actually is biased towards her girls, and she does not know, consider me worthy at all. So after not many years, he went out of it, and God has been kind that he gave me two boys, very energetic one. So definitely, our house is never calm. You will the calmness you are actually talking about on my face. You come to my home, there will be one person or other, because obviously I have my parents-in-law also, and boys are growing up. So there's something or the other keeps happening all the time at my place. But I believe, and I'm happy and I'm very proud of that energy, because there's definitely no calmness at my place. Somebody will be fighting, somebody will be shouting, somebody will be talking loudly. So things keep on happening. But
It's all normal. It's all
yeah,
good.
it's all normal, and I'm very proud, because if my sister also calls, she says, "घर में कभी शांति होती है क्या?" So I tell her, yeah, I'm very proud, and at times she also relates that, because they are just a couple, they're living, so they don't have kids, but उनके घर में सब शांति ही रहती है, so all is settled. हमारे घर में कोई settle नहीं होता, and it's beautiful, because at times अगर जब जैसे my elder one goes for some earlier, but before the COVID, they used to go to the school or किसी पिकनिक पे चले गए या दो तीन किसी दिन आउटिंग पे चले गए, the home actually becomes very quiet. And I think we have found that perfection in this imperfection, wherein we allow everyone to be themselves, But at the same time, definitely I wouldn't say ki we allow it means they can do anything. Definitely that's not there. And rather I am a little strict parent as compared to my husband. He is like, he'll pamper my boys like anything, so he lets them do. Since I am a little disciplined person, and a lot many times I work from home, so I have to be disciplined. I have to, make sure that the breakfast is on time. I have to make sure that everything is on time. And my boys are tuned like that, so they respect that. They are you know very well know that breakfast is served up till this time, so they need to be there. And I always use these quotes, like if in they're on the breakfast table there's something they don't like, so I tell them ki it's okay to have some favorites, but it doesn't mean that you have to reject. So हम लोग उसमें अपना सिखिज्म का करते हैं कि जो रब ने देता है, it's good, and you should have some gratitude towards your mother who's cooking. She has to now go get back to work. And towards your grandparents who bring all the stuff, your father. So we have ingrained that culture. And definitely that boundary is there, wherein they know where the line is with respect to being themselves, and being respecting toward other things, having gratitude. So I'm lucky on that front, that there definitely lot of commotion on that. So the rules are very much clear in our house, so we respect each other. We definitely want to. But if we don't agree, definitely we have a point to raise. And my kids have started now, they started talking about it. Mama has a point and she will raise it. So whenever they do something, because now since they're growing up, they have a lot of things wherein they have their point of view, and they have their own thinking. So I try to become a sounding board without getting too much into their space. So like my elder one particularly, so he's into teenager. So earlier, I was definitely, the driving person, and I deliberately created that schedule. That when I had my first one, I took a little career break, so I continued with my MBA, and I kept working that way. That my workplace was near my home, so I was at home. Though I had help, I have my parents-in-law. Husband is definitely very supportive, so I never had any issue. But I actually wanted, because when I had my first son, I was like, no, I will never leave work. Why to? But once I had it, I knew I have to give a little priority to him as compared to my work. Though I tried my best, and I think I've been pretty successful, because if I was not working, I was learning. So I completed my doctorate like that. And so I was always around them, the way they have, their thought process. And I'm very proud, I would say, and I'm learning from them. I'm definitely saying that. But they have their things very clear. Like for us, honesty is important. For us, it's important that we keep on trying, without the the scare of, or the fear that we might fail. I think the beauty goes in where we keep on learning. And as a Sikh also, so we three, so me and my boys like to read a lot. So we are little history buffs also. So we read about stuff, and we try to understand, why things are happening, why that is happening. So I wouldn't say that I consciously utilize that conscious parenting, but since we had been reading a lot, we go to Gurdwara, we practice Sikhism, wherein we just go to Langar Pandal. And I earlier used to, encourage my son to go and, do seva. But he saw my husband, so he does a lot of seva Langar in Langar. Now he's grown up, so he also does that. He's been doing, and I'm touched wood, I'm very happy with that. So he does that seva. And my younger one is picking from there. From that, I think the way we learn, we try to understand. So all those things, I think, make me realize that kids have a lot to share, a lot to learn. Like for example, I remember अभी राम मंदिर का वो हुआ था. So I was just cooking, and my younger one was standing with me. So people were bursting crackers in Gurgaon. So so I'm a sustainability enthusiast also. So I actually talk about all the environment things, how being conscious, and being mindful our choices is important. So I was just standing and I was just listening. People are bursting crackers. I didn't comment anything. I was just doing my work, and my son was standing and I was having a glass of water or something. He just saw me and said, "Mama, mandir to theek hai, but people don't realize now God is in the trees also, in the animals also. Why to burst crackers in the name of the God? Uh, you know, when the animals, the plants, everything has the feeling or the is actually a part of God. So you are hurting actually." And I was listening and I was happy. Like, oh, this is the point actually. That's a good thing. So I think that's a learning, and I think there are definitely a lot of instances wherein you realize that kids have so many points which make you think, this is something I need to know. Obviously we know that plants maybe it's a part of the creation, but when the kids point out, it actually makes you think, they are definitely making a point. So all those instances, I think that there's something which keeps happening, which keeps making me think lot many times, obviously, because at times I also get out of my when there's a lot of work, obviously I also lose myself, and maybe at times I end up, why are you not listening? And not many times I realize it's actually my issue because I don't have time. So I'm actually can just be a little quick, finish it off and move ahead. And not many times my kids actually tell me, you can calm down a bit, we are okay. If you cannot do, please let us do that. So I think it's been definitely a fulfilling journey of my self-awareness with my kids there, and that is making me having more gratitude every day. So I think that if that this is something, I think it's not about fixing your kids. They are doing their best. What I've been trying is to create that environment around them wherein we accept each other, we let others be themselves. Obviously there's definitely no perfection. Even I'm not perfect, my husband is not, but we definitely try to be the role models which my parents had been to me. So the way they grow up, and the way they handle the relations, they give space, and that's what my learning is. They give space. They were never scared of trying different things. And just I bet the earlier last night only, so since I'm very disciplined person, so I can sleep anywhere. You tell me to sleep, by 10 I am in the bed. So I sleep, I'll just take minutes to sleep. That's how I am. So my son was actually talking to my husband. He said, "Mama to kahin bhi jati hai, wahi so jati hai." So my husband was actually telling, "Oh, army wala background hai na, jahan jagah mil gayi, so ja." So I've been telling my kids to adapt this kind of attitude. It will help them in the long run as well. Rest is there. So when they go to these trips and all that, so they always come back with stories. Ki, "Mama, aisa hua tha, waisa hua tha." So I always tell them it's important for them to go to these trips, because there you realize, which we have learned because we kept moving spaces. Uh, and so this is actually has become an ingrained culture that we do not complain a lot. We three siblings, because kahin chale gaye, wahan you have to change your friends, you have to change the place. Maybe the place is not up to the mark. You just have to go in the night and, have to settle. Khana idhar udhar ho gaya. So we were all, adjusting to that. And that has helped three of us professionally as well, and definitely personally. So I
I
think,
so agree with you on this, Amrinder. I also come from a Fauji background,
yeah,
and
so I think you will agree to it.
I completely resonate with what you're saying. And I think, um, a lot of people think that parenting is very complicated.
Absolutely.
That, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. And obviously, parenting doesn't come with a rule book.
Absolutely.
But, you have so beautifully put certain points, which I'd like to highlight. One very strong and important point that you made is that while you took a conscious decision to take a sabbatical when you had your firstborn, because you felt that you need to be there for him to, to take care and to nurture him. But like many, you did not get frustrated or flustered that, oh my God, I have taken a break and I'm worthless now. But what you did was you were not working, but you were learning. That is a very powerful statement and a very powerful message to a lot of women who are listening or will listen to us, that just because you take a break during your the beginning of the journey as a mother, that doesn't mean that that is the be all and end all of everything for you. So
Absolutely.
if that is one thing which deters many to not walk this journey, if at all, or get bugged that, now I have children, I cannot do anything, and all has come to an end. Think about it. You have here a mother who learned during that phase. She added value to herself, and she kind of, progressed in life without having to work, from a professional point of view. So that's a very powerful statement that you made. The second statement, which I derive from the conversation that you made, is that it's not just about their learning, it is about our learning, and how, those small example that you shared, which your younger son mentioned, that, God lives in all the other things like trees and animals, and why people should not burst crackers. Now, probably you would have sometime mentioned this to your child, or he would have read something. But the fact that he has internalized it definitely speaks volume about the kind of conversation that the child is exposed to. And it is not always about celebrating that you've got very good marks. It is about celebrating such aspects of the child, such value system of the child. And I think, to my mind, this is exactly what conscious parenting would mean, where in a very simple way you groom the child, and the child transforms into being a good human being, you know
Absolutely.
and where you are appreciating the child, that it's okay to fail. In fact, I'm really amazed with all these talk shows that we've had till now, Amrinder. Every mother who has come and spoken, irrespective of the age of the child that they have in the current time, everybody has spoken about this.
Yeah.
That it's okay to fail, but
Absolutely.
yet we see so much of stress in children. you know
Yeah.
you being a person from the academic background and a researcher, would you like to throw some light on this, that why even now, when a lot of us are thinking like this, that it's okay to fail, it's more important to be a good human being. It's more important to actually educate your mind and not just educate yourself to make the money. Why would still a set of people run after that? I mean, any insight or any thing that you would like to share out of your experience on this?
So with due respect to everyone, I think as a society as such, we have a lot of parents who actually value, all these things, wherein you value experiences more, and where you value learning more. And I believe the people who are, I very frankly, I had the parents, maybe the way you are, you attract those kind of the tribe to yourself. So I see now people very conscious of what they are thinking, but that's still, I think, as a society, with the education system which we have, definitely we actually work on that, wherein you have to score great, that's then only you will settle down. So even I had that trajectory, to be very honest, because obviously, though my parents gave us good space every time, we were allowed to be ourselves all the time, but we were had this trajectory where we were told that you have to be working hard, not just because it's beautiful to work hard, but it is because you have to score nicely, and then you have to get admission in some good college, then you will have a job. I did everything. I have an engineering background, so I studied very nicely in the schools as well. Definitely, I had been a very high grader in that, and I went through the complete process of doing very nicely, and then also being scared. And over the time, I think I realized, and now my parents also realized, at times they feel maybe we had put a lot of pressure, and I tell them it's necessary. You actually behave because at that time, whatever the parents told, we did that. So the identity which I realized about myself, what I actually will want to do, without blaming anybody, I took this choice because you told me to do that. I had that around 25 or 26 of age, which my son has currently at the age of 10. And definitely it comes with its disadvantages also, because he is at that age, he is trying to realize what does he like to do, and he does not like to be told all the time, maybe you do this, and maybe you do that, or something. So as a parent, I'm actually telling myself to educate, to empower him to realize all the nitty-gritties, what he's into, and make him realize that we have to, enjoy the process and get into it. So with respect to your questions, why is still that we are, running after the marks? Because we like to have that comfort that maybe, with education, we get a certain kind of a certain life. But I think the more people get into it, they realize even with education, you cannot get that certainty until and unless you have a certain way of living. Because that kind of dilemma will eventually come in, wherein you have to learn how to balance life. You have to learn, how to be, how to manage your emotions also, and at the same time relationships as well. Why is it important that if you fail, you accept yourselves to be kinder? How you learn, to be little selfless. So I definitely have people around me who are into this kind of learning where they accept. And definitely there are parents, they will have definitely have their own journey, but I think eventually that's my, because that's why I shared that I have an engineering background, so I have been through the complete rituals of working hard, having a good rank, securing a good college, and getting a good job, then settling with a wonderful marriage. But at the end, you realize it's important. Whatever you do, it's important to be happy, enjoy the process, and that's what I'm actually telling my kids all the time. Uh, I encourage them to participate in as many activities as they can, but rather, I was sharing with someone that my son was telling, now I want to become a panda now. Just sleep, get up, sleep again. I don't want to do anything. So I'm now taking it, I have to slow down a bit because this is the time. Kids also take this risk, though they get excited. So I think the more we start having that value of self-awareness, that how aware we have to be, where we need to realize that, we need to stop, where we need to realize we have to make the kids get better, then I think we will definitely evolve as a society. And it starts with us only. As a parent, it starts with the parents itself. Even if the parents are still pushing their kids, somewhere definitely even the kids will realize, or maybe I hope other parents will realize. But as a society, we should put more focus on the spiritual aspect, I would say. For us, it came from the spiritual aspect. But yes, being self-aware and that realization, because when you start fixing the kids, there will definitely be a lot of repulsion, there will be a lot of fights, there will be a lot of resentment, and there will be endless anger, which is going to actually affect all. But if there is acceptance, there is a realization that this balance is going out, maybe you have to give them space. And now kids are actually wanting it, because I remember when I was 11, my mom used to tell me, do this, I used to do that. I was very happy because she was doing everything what I wanted to. But here, my son has to be on his own because he has internet. He has his friends who are fully aware. He has his projects, which has to make him, research, realize. So he cannot be dependent on me. Where rather last time he had um, some conversation with a friend or not, and he asked me a point and I gave him a point, and he got confused with it, and he got me, mama apna mujhe faltu ki rai mat diya karo, just let me be myself. And I was like, yeah, tune to pucha tha, that's why I gave you the rai. So I realized, so what we learned as a 25, I think the kids are learning in today's time, they are learning very fast. So I think the change which we had will come very quickly now, because of the internet, because of the age we are living in. But
Absolutely.
I think self-awareness, spirituality, and connecting to ourselves, our roots particularly, is going to help in the long run on the society and people as such.
Wonderful. Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. There is just so much to learn from this conversation. So now, Amrinder, we spoke about conscious parenting. We spoke
Yeah.
about the learnings and the unlearnings. Would you share a little more, as to how the journey of self-awareness has been for you, and what all things were you able to learn about yourself while you were going through this journey of
I think the the biggest learning, I think, self awareness. That's why I've been saying that my identity, when I actually started realizing what I actually enjoy doing, came at the age of 25 when I was married and I was about to have my kid. So at that time I realized. But if I start how my journey has been, so definitely I have been the regular geeky kid where, who are into a lot of studies and all that. And I definitely had a very wonderful time that got into job, got married, though I got married early. But I still had that time when I had little time, settling in the jobs and all that. So once I had my first son, I think, and when I was having him, I think that it was that time I realized what is actually meant by self-awareness, for having gratitude. Because having a kid means you are having a responsibility. You brought somebody from the into the world, though they came through you, but they are not from you. So you have those two individuals um, who are going to be nurtured. And at the same time, I always believe that the kind of the environment kids are into, it shapes the personality, the thinking, which cannot be changed very easily until unless there is a big jerk or there is some situation, because life will bring those situations until unless you don't have those skills in you. And as spirituality, in spirituality also we talk about it, that every suffering is actually a blessing in disguise. So for me, that is something which I wanted my kids to, realize, because life can never be a bed of roses. So this was something. When I was having my son, I definitely read endless books to get a more, to become more conscious parent, to become a better parent, and to be able to, because at that time I was working. So I thought, okay, I will never leave the job and I'll manage myself very beautifully with the kid in house, and, going to office, full 9 to 5 job, I'll be able to manage. I had taken a maternity leave, and within the maternity leave, I realized the nitty-gritties of bringing a kid, how responsible, and the kind of responsibility I felt, in bringing them in the right way. And they being boys, I think that has God has given me a beautiful opportunity uh, to learn from them, and definitely to fix myself first. Though I do not believe I needed so much of fixing to be praising myself, because I had a very but there were certain things like. I never used to take a lot of risks in my life. Because that's why I've been saying I got my engineering background, but I never took risks. I never wanted to do things, because I was all okay. I'm a very complacent person. But when I actually had my son, I realized I took the first risk, that I left the job without having anything in hand. I didn't know how will I go with. Definitely, I was scared. Scared in the sense, you never know, how will you land up in another job. And being with the kid, it's difficult also when you are suddenly working full time and suddenly you are left with nothing but just caring for a child all the time. And at that time, I think the learning wherein I had to be happy with the things, I think that has to come from my parents' side, and every support which I had, which made me realize that it's okay to be at home. You should listen to yourself. So that is the I would say first time I started listening myself. I took the risk, and after that I think I've been taking risks only. So I left jobs many times, not because I wasn't, but I was in lookout for a better work life balance. After my kids, I realized I could let go certain high paying jobs just to have some few hours in the evening, which are important for me to be with my kids, so I should be able to take them to the classes. I should not regret, because I can always take back the work. I'm learning every day, so I can always I know the value I bring on table. So I can always, but for me it's important because these are the years which are precious, because they will be with me. After that they will have their own lives, they will have their own careers, they will have their life partners, and at that time also, at that time I need to get into out of their system. But if this is the time when I need to be around them, not for them but for me, because when I have my last day of my life, I should not have regrets, because I'd rather, I would share this, that when I was leaving my job, when I had my first son, I had this feeling. The only question which came to my mind was, will you be happy if you die tomorrow? You know, will you be, what was the last thing which I never wanted to have any regrets. So I would say my self-awareness journey, which started with parenting, is I realized the strength I had. I realized that I don't need to be perfect all the time. It's okay the way I am. It's okay if I'm not in the race to win something. I need to be happy. And I should let, because like the way we have settled Pinkova. So at that time also I was into, double mind, because I had just finished my PhD, whether to get back into full-time job, or you get into something called as entrepreneurship, wherein you try to connect to people and learn from them. So all that has actually helped me, realize what does it actually means to be spiritual. What does it mean actually to see his creation through his creation? So that's I think the whole crux of it, to see his creation through his creation, and me being the witness. And I'm learning and sharing experiences and listening to new ways every day, and gratitude for everything what I have.
Absolutely. For all those people who are listening to us, when
Sure.
I approached Amrinder that would you like to come and talk about your journey, and she said, I have a very simple journey. I'm a very kind of a chilled out mom, but look at here, she has shared so much insight. Where each one of us can actually learn. Very beautifully, very simply, Amrinder, the way you are, you have conveyed so much
So
for people to really understand and take cues from as to how they can effectively do what they are. One doesn't need to, take certain decisions and then regret about it, because there is always an opportunity in what you are doing, and there is so much more than just, being in the rat race, or just, constantly focusing on the learning of the child. But in that whole process, if you're actually able to learn ourselves and unlearn a lot of things, see, because I think,
yeah,
all of us come with a certain baggage when we
obviously.
begin our parenting journey also, how we were taught, how we were groomed. And then, of course, if in the process you're able to fix things, because there is no right, there is no wrong, it's all circumstance level. Like I said that, I completely resonate with you when it comes to time management, when it comes to being disciplined. And that is something which is ingrained, in, I think, in any Fauji child it would be ingrained
Yeah.
about
So yeah,
time,
that
right? Because that's how the forces is. And
hmm,
so you would obviously take cues from all those good things that we've learned from our parents. And well, like all, I'm sure even our parents would have had that not so good moments, and
absolutely.
so do we have. But brilliant, Amrinder, in those simple words, in this simplicity, you have conveyed a very strong message. In fact, messages, and definitely an insight for me, and I'm sure for many.
Thank you.
We have someone who said that maybe what is chaos to people looking from the outside, but from inside it might be the liveliness, for
Absolutely.
the environment that you created. This is a comment which had come earlier when you were talking about that,
Very good.
the boys are doing what they are, and everybody has their own place. So it's not about creating a perfect, everything has to be prim and proper. That is one more thing that we learned from the Forge. Everything has to be at the
Ah,
right place, but
sure.
it's okay to be imperfect. I think what is important is that it should be done, and the
Yeah.
right thing should be there. So, Amrinder, before I let you go, what would be your one message to all the mothers or the parents who are listening to us, or who would eventually watch this live?
I think the only thing I like to share is just enjoy the journey. It's a beautiful time which you are sharing with your kids. Embrace each moment, because it is something you will, treasure every moment, because they definitely are growing up. They will be out of your nest very soon. And that is the right thing for them also to grow and learn and realize. Just embrace it, let them be themselves, support, empower them, and definitely discipline is very must for it always helps out. But I think we should also let ourselves, because my kids keep telling you to just chill out now, it's okay. So I'm also learning that. So I have also at times get a little chilled down, but most of the time I'm since I'm very disciplined, so I think my kids also are picking from that. But I think instead of fixing kids, if we create that nurturous environment around, where the kids know where the boundary starts, and we make them think around, it is a beautiful time for us as a parent to evolve, spiritually, personally, and professionally, I would say. It was an opportunity for the kids also, and I think we don't need to do much. Just we have to be around them, keep communicating, keep engaging with them, supporting them as our parents used to be. And rather in these times it's more important, because at that time when our parents used to be there, and we did not have some lot of internet where the questions used to be answered or something. But now in these times, our kids need us more, and we also needs our kids a lot more, because we need also that kind of understanding where we are also accepted the way we are. So I think it's a beautiful time. I think we should be in gratitude to the Almighty, for giving us a gift of our kids, and just treasure every moment. Have a wonderful journey. This journey is going to be a life altering one, which will help you connect to yourself a lot more. And I think that's the
Absolutely.
beauty of it. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Ekta.
Thank you. Yeah, but Amrinder, you mentioned this to me, and you mentioned during our talk also that you are a big follower of Lord Krishna. And
Yeah,
today being Janmashtami, I don't think
yeah.
I can let you go without, until you tell us what is that one learning
So
that you got from
I'll
Lord Krishna.
definitely, yes. I think that that's something which also these days me and my kids are following Mahabharata, the recent one, which is coming on Star Plus. So Mahabharat is something which I since I read a lot, so definitely these kind of stuff spiritually, which helps me a lot. And even Gita, I have been an ardent follower, but my kids definitely are young, not to understand it deeply. But I think 2 days back they were watching, and I was doing something else. They were watching. Both of my sons were watching on tab this Mahabharat, wherein Krishna was talking to Dronacharya. So Dronacharya was about to be killed. And in this, the new Mahabharat, Krishna just freezes the time in that time, and he gives some understanding on how the things had been, what you were wrong, and the difference between karma and everything. So so definitely I wasn't watching because I have watched the whole series and I was doing something else. So I was just then when the Krishna started speaking, I started listening, and it was beautiful for anyone to listen to, and it answered a lot of things. And it's since it's related to parenting, I like to share. So Krishna spoke about he was telling Dronacharya where he went wrong actually. So he was telling Ashwathama is your son, and usually there's a difference between pyar, there's between love and मोह. मोह is the difference between love and मोह is that जब हम अब किसी से प्यार करते हैं तो हम चाहते हैं अपने बच्चों से, पर्टिकुलरली जो हमें प्यार बच्चों से है, तो अगर आप अपने बच्चों को संस्कार देना चाहते हो तो आपका प्यार जो है वो शुड लेट देम बी देमसेल्व्स. एंड आप उनको कोशिश करते हो, उनको वो शिक्षा देते हो, आप उनको लर्निंग्स देते हो कि वो स्ट्रांग बने और वो अपना काम खुद कर सकें, चाहे गिरे पड़े, बट वो हमेशा उठना जानते हैं. एंड दे आर नो कि व्हाट इज करेक्ट धर्मा एंड करेक्ट वे टू डू. And you pray to God to give them that energy so that they keep doing. But when you have more, now when your love turns into more, तो फिर आप कोशिश करते हो कि आप बच्चों का हर काम खुद करो. You try to live for them to make their life easy, and in that process you end up hurting yourself, क्योंकि आप उनको लिए इतना करने लग जाते हो कि आपकी expectations भी बढ़ती रहती है. Or obviously kids will never be able to learn the learnings dharma. They will not be able to understand, they will not be able to appreciate things. और फिर आप उसमें फिर आपकी लर्निंग एक्सपेक्टेशन इतनी बढ़ने लग जाती है कि यू एक्चुअली स्टार्ट वांटिंग कि आपके बच्चे आपको अप्रिशिएट करें क्योंकि आपने उनके लिए इतना काम किया है. And all that Dronacharya was doing for Ashwathama, he instead of giving him the right kind of sanskars, he was trying to create a very comfortable life for him. And in the process of creating a comfortable life, he actually ended up being with Duryodhan. He could not walk to the right thing in spite of knowing that whatever he is doing, wrong. And that's, he says, has eventually been a reason for the demise of his own son Ashwathama, who had this curse of being there till this universe is there. And Dronacharya also lost all the respect. And the Mahabharata is actually pillared on these three people, Karna and Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya, because they could not, even in spite of knowing that what they are doing is not in the good interest of the whole society, that actually had to be with Duryodhan, and that had been the reason for their own demise. Such a huge war where there had been, uh, the death of millions. And this, though I just heard this, Serenan, but it was a very beautiful learning that what's the difference between love and what you call as moho. हम लोग उसमें कहते हैं. So moho is when you try to have everything around you, कि उसके लिए comfort कर दो, उसके लिए सब काम कर दो. And when you have love, you let them accept, you accept them, you let them have their journey where they fall, they rise, you empower them, you support them, but you let them be themselves. And that will only lead to what we call as sanskar, so that you can be a better human being who contributes to the society, and who is definitely following the purpose of the supreme being to make the world a better place. I hope.
Wow, that's
So that is
amazing. Yeah, so beautifully explained.
yeah.
Fantastic.
So this
Yeah.
was beautiful. I really loved. But I think we can have another discussion. I can talk about Krishna and all that full time because I've been a wonderful follower. So I
But I'm
think
glad, that as they say, the universe does give a signal. So we went back and forth on the date, and we ended
yeah,
up choosing the 12th of August. And what better day to have you where, it's Janmashtami, it's Lord Krishna's birthday,
yes.
and you could share an insight from his learning. So fantastic, Amrinder.
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
so much for being
Thank you.
here. And indeed, it was a very, very insightful discussion.
Thank you
And
so much.
thank
Thanks,
you.
yeah, Ekta, and keep doing the wonderful work. And I think the conversations which you have, and you have been a wonderful host. I mean, the way you actually make it a wonderful conversation, it makes the guest also, very at ease. And the talks are definitely insightful for the parents, for mothers particularly, and we can definitely resonate with a lot of things. All the
Thank you
best
so
to
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you. So we'll be back again with another interesting journey of a mother. Till then, stay tuned. Signing off, Ekta Sehgal Malhotra. Thank you so much. Bye bye.